Welcome to the Underground. Tonight, we enter the mind of a master. Interview with a lockpicker starts now.
Today on Interview with a Lockpicker, we have with us a special guest, Little Swamp Picker. Little Swamp Picker, would you like to say hi?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to have you. We can just hop right into it. How were you introduced to the community?
So I am not exactly certain how I found the community at this point. Looking back on it, I'm like, I just don't know.
Yeah,
Um, I'm sure I stumbled into it on Reddit just as I was doom scrolling one night, and that kind of just did that. But I started picking for a lockout service here in my local area. We did automotive and occasionally residential lockouts. So I kind of fell in there learning how to do that and just kind of started picking and started with a couple of pick boards and a padlock hanging off a chain and a couple of doorknobs and just grew from there into the actual joy of the puzzle and being able to like get locks open.
nice. I uh I think in a past life, or if I had to life to do over again, I that's where the road I should have went down is a locksmith. Um, is there anything about yourself that you would like to let everybody know? Anything special? It doesn't have to be lock related or anything like that. Anything you just want to put out there that you think we'd find interesting or you'd like to let everybody know?
Uh, Not really. I'm honestly outside of doing medicine and picking locks, I'm kind of boring. I moved out of being on an ambulance about 6 months ago, and that kind of sparked me back into lock picking because sitting at a desk doing sales every day is boring. So just to my right of my workstation, I have my little lock lab y'all can see, and I'll just move the vise over and pick while I make sales calls.
Nice. What did you originally start your channel for? Was it just for belt system, or do you have any plans with that?
So So I really just kind of threw it together as a start to the belt system because I was like, all right, I got to put them up somewhere. I already have a YouTube account because let's be real, I hate ads like everybody else and keep premium because there's nothing worse than working on your car and getting an ad in the middle of the part you can't figure out.
I'm laughing so hard because that's why I got premium.
That's the reason
Literally.
everyone got premium.
And you threw the tools across the garage there and were like, "Ugh, I'll pay the $20."
At
Yep.
least a half a dozen times.
Yeah. Been there. Been there. Where do you see your channel going into the future?
I'm honestly not 100% certain. I would like to see it grow. Like I don't need to be internet famous here by any means with my channel, but I would like it to be, a useful resource to other lockpickers, especially ones who are trying to figure out the world and the community itself. Because let's be real, it's kind of a pain in the ass to figure out the first time.
Oh yeah. Yep. I speak from experience, but I'm kind of I fell in between the early late 80s, early 90s when computers and internet weren't really a thing, and then all of a sudden they were a thing, and I was like, well, I'm off doing something else anyway. So it was, I could tell you stories, but yeah. Yeah, and we need that out there for new pickers and stuff because it is a confusing labyrinth to weave yourself through.
And it can be a little intimidating to people as well.
Yeah.
I noticed that. So I had a I figured it out. Let's go. Nothing like your lock being harder to reassemble than it was to disassemble.
Yep.
Um, I had a brother who he's not blood, but he's about as close as you get without actually being blood. Um, and he lost his arm in a motorcycle wreck. And I've been sitting here for the last 2 years trying to figure out what do I do for him? Like, he knows how everything is supposed to be right-handed and now no longer has that hand. Like,
Yeah.
what can I introduce him in the world that like he doesn't have any experience in? And lock sport was one of those things. So actually, my blue belt project I'm working on is building a set of tensioners for him that are going to be basically milled out with fishing weights so that he can have adjustable tension still and make clinical, I say clinical like I'm talking about medicine, but make the judgment calls of how to tension a particular lock by adjusting tension still, even though he's only got legitimately one arm to pick with.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of been my focus and my sharing is thinking about like accessibility because I'm like, there's tons of people who'd probably like to pick locks that have arthritis in one hand or the other, and how do we support those type of people?
Boy, do we have to have a discussion after this. But yeah, I agree 100%. Um,
I always love it when the lock works after I put it back together too.
yep, because when it doesn't, boy, can it be a
I have an
tremendous.
interesting photo view of the lack of a cylinder in this American body. I managed to get a spring wedged between the Bible and the actual keyway
Yeah,
just right, so I ended up having to drill the brass out to be able to get it to rotate to release.
been there more than once.
Oh, but
Do
yeah,
you
it's
have?
been it's been quite a ride. I did not expect myself because I think the imposter syndrome with everyone's real.
Yeah.
I did not expect to find myself already talking to newer pickers about what they can do, what my experiences were. That's been more than a little bizarre for me to adapt to just from the perspective of I still feel like I'm a new guy here and
Yeah.
I've already got folks kind of looking up to me.
Yeah.
And then I sit around and hang out with a bunch of red and black belts who like to gently and kindly bully me and just remind me it's a skill issue and I'll get there eventually.
Yeah. Do you have any advice you think that newer lock sporters out there you'd like to give to them? Anything that you've experienced, just like you were saying there, that you think is something they need to know when they're coming into this?
Don't be intimidated. We all are a bunch of goofballs at the end of the day. Even if it like we can get serious and we can talk about guts of that GP18 with 37 pins and all the fixins, but like we'll still talk to you the exact same way if we're talking about a Master Lock 141.
Hmm. Absolutely. You hit the
Like
nail
I
on the head.
yeah, that and ask the question. The well, just ask it. I can't
Hmm.
tell you how many times I sat here for hours fighting with something, and then I'm like, if I had just asked that question,
Hmm.
I would have had my answer 4 hours ago and probably had this lock open.
Yep. And don't be embarrassed about it. I still ask
Exactly.
questions. I've been doing this many, many years, and I still ask questions because it's a evolving a sport, evolving skill, you know, and that's what I love about it.
I literally most of my videos, unless it's specifically pin and tumbler, I get somebody to proof my videos. Like if I'm talking about something, like I did a quick little 4 minute video on how to mount a safe dial because there was a bunch of stuff that I just like. There's videos watching people do it. There's not a lot of videos detailing like how to actually put the damn lock together.
Yeah. Oh, trust
So
me.
I had a safe tech actually that's not too far up the road from me. I was like, "Hey, will you proof this video for me and make sure I'm not a complete idiot and like didn't tell people to put this thing together wrong and they're gonna brick their damn
Yeah.
mechanisms with it?"
Oh,
And
that's a nice
JoJo was
thought.
like, "Yeah, like the only thing is, that pin key there on the cam gear, like could have been a little more specific about orientation of that, but other than that, you're great."
Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
um, yeah, it is an amazingly helpful community, even if we are like as a whole kind of a bunch of pains in the butt.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
also an amazingly helpful community. God, I can't talk enough about how great the community is as a whole.
I agree 100%, or else I wouldn't be doing this. You know, is there any lock sporters of note out there you think should be mentioned that maybe aren't getting the views they should, or some new people that maybe some of us don't know yet, or
Oh God, there's so many. There's just like so many. I could No Key's another green belt like me. I'm guessing he's already had his interview with you.
yep,
He was the
great
one
guy.
who pushed me. Yeah, we ended up on the phone for like 3.5 hours one day because he's like, "Hey man, so my background's in video editing, and there is something janky about your videos. Can I just go through your workflow with you and figure out what is happening?" And we ended up legitimately spending like 2.5 hours going through Adobe Premiere settings and trying to figure it out. And I finally gave up and started recording on something else because it did not like whatever was happening from the camera recording to the actual editing.
Oh, I'm so terrible at it. I have to sit down with him too. Um,
I Yeah, I still don't know what exactly was wrong in the settings. All I know is I don't have that issue now filming in OBS. So I'm like, problem solved. But
yeah,
yeah, Noki's great. Nightmare's been spectacular. Spicy frequently reminds me to quit being a knucklehead and just ask the question.
yep, yeah.
The
Don't be
Shackleman
afraid.
Cuff Club is another great group of guys.
Yep.
I don't know if you're familiar with them at all.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Those guys are all great. I'm spent too much money on locks and not enough on handcuffs when it came down to payday this go round, so I had to push that another paycheck.
yep.
But yeah,
They're a great group of guys over there.
I feel like at the end of this, we're gonna get off this call, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh damn, there's like 15 more people I should have mentioned."
Yeah, we all do. I did when I did mine, and everybody does. It's don't feel bad. It happens, and they all know that you were trying to remember them. You know, um, what is your favorite thing about the lock sport community or lock sport in general?
Lock sport in general, I think, is the puzzles and the mental engagement. Just as a whole, like my tism flares up a little bit for a good puzzle,
Yeah, me
and
too.
a- as y'all can see in the camera view, I've got a lot of puzzles sitting here, um, all the way up to some purple belt stuff. I've mostly white through green sitting out in view, but I've got a couple of smart locks sitting behind me. Um, a whole bunch of U.S. General Key uh, padlock keyways that somebody handed me in a bundle that were going in the garbage. Um, but yeah, the puzzles I think are the biggest thing, and the fact that like for the most part nobody cares about what's going on in the rest of the world. We kind of isolate to our little community,
Yeah.
and there is no politics, there is no anything other than locks and having fun.
Yep. And I think people really need that in the world today because you can
For
just
sure.
get wrapped up in just depressing, horrifying stuff all day. You need an escape, and you need an escape with good people and good community, and I think that's what this is
For,
about.
for sure. Um, and I think that lock sport as a whole produces a useful skill, not necessarily in the ability to, just open locks, but the perseverance in that aspect. Because I think we've lost a lot of that as people grow up. They don't have that same uh, grit, if you will,
Yeah.
to just like do the hard thing progressively until you figure it out. I
Yeah.
think that the lock sport as a whole brings that back because let's be real, we all pick a lock because it's a hard thing and it's something that most people can't do. Like if you look at it, the underlying, it's that proud moment of, yeah, I just picked that high security whatever because they said it was, unpickable.
Yep.
And here I am to prove you it is. So I think that brings a lot of that back that we've lost over the years.
I agree 100%. It's critical thinking. It's uh there is, I mean, yeah, somebody can say this is how you do it, but you have to work through it, and each lock is different. Well, key bitting, maybe it's a little off here and there. It's an actual skill that you have to hone and know the feelings, and I agree 100%. It's this world is lacking it big time. Innovation.
Oh yeah, and at the end of the day, it's all about reps. Like when it comes to this, because I can tell you 100 times how that exact Master Lock 140 picks.
Yep.
You're not going to understand until you get in that lock and start manipulating it yourself, and then going, oh now I see what he was saying about XYZ.
Yep. Yep. That's what a lot of people wanted me to do a series on safe cracking, and I was like, I didn't learn it in any specific order or anything like that. It was just over years and years and years of bits and pieces of stuff that I put together. And, I was like, I don't know how to explain a feeling or a, an intuition or you know, I
Yeah.
couldn't do it. That's why I had Lock Manipulator on the episode 2 episodes ago because he actually taught safe manipulation and that at a
I
locksmith school.
I have his GitHub open 2 tabs over from you right now.
Yeah, if I had a little extra money this
Yeah.
month, I'd be making that right now.
Yeah, I when I was looking at the auto dialers and stuff, I was like, that is super awesome. And between doing some technologies integration stuff when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to be when I grew up, and then now I'm like, I could absolutely assemble that and not spend $6,000 on the one that exists and is available to most of us.
Yeah, me too. Well, with that, I think we can.
Yeah, there's so much cool stuff, and honestly, it just keeps getting better with time because technology advances, precision advances. Like it's still never going to be the perfect lock with the perfect lineup of cylinders, but it just keeps getting harder and harder, and that makes more and more fun for us.
Mhm, absolutely. Well, I've completely enjoyed this interview. I think I think our audience will love it, and well, I'll definitely put your um, link to your channel down so we can get you some more
I
viewers, and
appreciate that.
uh, from there, it was an honor to have you on here.
Absolutely. It was an honor to be here.
Well, thank you. So if you'd like, you can stay at for the Into the Shadows, and we can talk more there. And
Absolutely.
all right, well, guys, here's another one that's going into the shadows, and we will see you next time. I got some more good interviews coming up down the pipe. Just trying to make things line up, and I'm trying to put one out every week. I don't know if I'll be able to do that forever, but because there's only so many of us. But thank you, Little Swamp Picker. Thank you guys, and we'll catch you next time.